All right, good morning, everyone. Coming to you live, the headquarters of the New Hedge Fund of the Year award winners. Yeah, that's right. All right, let's get into the game today. Okay, last night's session in U.S. markets is a bit mixed. We had the NASDAQ actually traded up nicely. S&P basically flat, down a scrap. The NASDAQ's really been a big leader again recently. Over the past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of the big name bellwethers that have just been driving us higher on a day-to-day basis. I think Apple's almost up to $130, quite spectacular. Amazon's had a huge run. Pretty much the entire tech space is just on fire. So that's where we've been getting a lot of the drive from. We had Walmart just trading lower yesterday on the back of, not a great earnings report. They're also coming out. Looks like they're going to have to raise wages because they're losing so many freaking employees. So a lot of kind of going on. We had initial jobless claims, a little bit better than expected. Crude oil inventories yesterday, we actually better on the crude oil inventories number. I think it was the distillates that was a little bit, maybe a little bit soft. Either way, the oil price actually jumped on the back of that, which is quite spectacular because inventory is rising significantly more than expected. So obviously the market was expecting a big jump anyway. But a lot going on. Obviously we had there's a couple the headlines that came out yesterday between Germany and Greece. Greece kind of coming to Germany with a proposal, and Germany shooting it down, and I guess the thought in the market is that Greece is starting to get a little bit nervous, and that they're finally starting to cave a little bit. We'll have to see if that plays out, but every single time there's an announcement there, the market tends to run. So I think if we get a resolution of the Greek deal, obviously, we could see a bit of a pop on that. The one thing that I will mention is that, and we can look at that in the charts in a little bit, is that the S&Ps are at all-time highs. The NASDAQ is basically, it's right up near the highs, going all the way back to 2000. So that's really important, obviously. Okay, in Asia, we still have all the markets, all the Asian markets there closed, or the Chinese and Hang Seng markets are closed, or Hong Kong markets closed. We have Japan and Australia, which are really open, the only things open on the day. We had the Nikkei up a scrap. Australia down almost 0.4%. We've got earnings season in full swing there. I think some of the things just coming under pressure. The market's at all-time highs, and the economy there is actually struggling. So there's a bit of a disconnection there with them cutting rates and everything. It's gotten, I think it's kind of, in the short term, it's pushed markets higher, but I don't know how long that's going to be able to last. Mining stocks kind of flattish overnight, so no real big movers there. And obviously no real leadership out of Japan either. The yen hardly moving at all. Last night was actually quite a night of low volatility, considering. And I thought one of the most interesting things that happened overnight last night was that the 2 and the 10-year Treasury yields started to push back higher again, with people starting to raise their bets that in fact the Fed will actually hike sooner rather than later. All right, the chart of interest today is just a simple Bloomberg chart here. There's a lot of talk here. There's a lot of people, speculating that the oil price is actually bottoming here. It's a huge speculation. The bottom line is that supply is going to continue to keep rising here in the near term, and demand over the next few years doesn't look great. The demand picture doesn't look great. So that sounds quite familiar with the rest of quite similar to what the rest of the commodity markets are doing. You've also got some supply that's going to be coming back online now out of Libya, and so I think that this is a picture that's not necessarily going to end anytime soon. I don't think oil's going to necessarily take off and run back to the upside, so just keep that in mind with what you're trading. Right, no corporate action to speak of today. We've got RES that's going ex-div on Monday. In terms of market data, we had manufacturing PMI out of Japan, touch soft. Now we've got PPI numbers coming out of the opening bell out of Germany. We've got PMI across the entire Eurozone. That's at 10:30 and 11. Then we've got UK retail sales, and then we've got PMI numbers in the States later on this afternoon. All right, let's get into the maps. As little action as there was kind of globally yesterday, there was a hell of a lot that happened here locally in terms of stocks moving around. One thing I just wanted to point out is Caterpillar here in the States. I just wanted to show this because we had a nice bump up here out of Caterpillar, not like we did in necessarily our local miners and some of the other ones, but we had a nice bump up here into the over the last month. And we had obviously a big reversal candle yesterday, reversing hard off of its out of this little bear flag. And I think, obviously looks like we're going to continue to push this trend a little bit lower. This has been such a great leading indicator for the rest of the sector, and I think that it's just something to look at in terms of for your other diversified miners, your Cecils, all those kind of stocks out there. We might see another turn down to the downside of some of these things that haven't really started to correct after the rally that they've had. So it's been a great bellwether for us of recently. All right, next one I'll look at is Truworths. Truworths, huge green candle you can see there yesterday, exploding into after really what was more or less in line or mediocre trading statement. I think the level that we need to be looking at here is 88. You can see here we wicked up to 88 back here. There's an argument to be made that we haven't really closed above this level. Not an argument, we haven't closed above where we did close. So, from 87, that was where really the previous closing highs were of this whole cycle. So you can kind of say we've broken out already, or you can say on a closing basis, I think we need to get above 88 just to really have confirmation here. But to me, this thing looks like it's getting ready to explode. I'd look at this thing for a second day play today. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing at 90 or above. I think the reaction on this stock yesterday really tells you quite clearly that the market is short of this one, because the numbers didn't look they weren't anything spectacular, but the way that the share ran really showed you that a lot of people, I think, were expecting something really poor out of the number. I think there are a lot of shorts out there. These type of moves have given us second day plays consistently, so watch for it today. I really think we could have a nice second day play in Truworths today, especially if we get above 88. I think this thing could be off to the races. All right, next one we'll look at also had a big move yesterday on a trading statement, and that is MTN. So if we actually just look here, I'll just pop and zoom in here a little bit more to 30-minute. You can see, we were trading south at 208 when that trading statement came out. I think we were actually trading right around 208 when the statement came out. We traded as low as about 207. We had a huge reversal at the end of the day, back up to there. Now we've been consolidating the last little while. This is a 30-day chart. We've been kind of consolidating, as you can see, between this little band here. So I think if we get above 216, MTN can really run as well. There was definitely a seller there yesterday. I think the trading statement, wasn't spectacular, but it's got to be a big relief because the way this thing's been sold, obviously everyone's been so bearish on the Nigerian story, and the numbers actually came out quite solid, I think, relative to what the market was expecting. So maybe look for MTN today also to potentially have a second day play. If we get above this sort of 216 level, and I think we can also make a move up to 220 very quickly. All right, we'll stick with the 30-day, 30-minute here, and we're going to go and look at NASI's. I'll look at a little bit of Naspers here. Naspers also, you can see this thing's really been in a bit of a bull flag in itself as well. If we back this out a little bit more, you can see if we were to look at this in a 1 year, you can see what I'm talking about here. So we've really been flagging. I mean, we've definitely been in an uptrend. If you look at this, let's look at it over a 2-year period, right? So you can see how clearly we've obviously been in an uptrend here. Bottom line is we've definitely made some sort of flag formation here, and as of yesterday, and I was just showing you that on the 30-minute, sorry, I'm going to zoom back in here, you can see how clearly we are really pushing up against resistance. I think above 1640, we've broken out of this pattern. I don't see any reason why if we get above 1640 today, and it really, the trade action really changed in yesterday's session. We pushed back down. We tried to test close to 1600, couldn't even fully test 1600, made a nice reversal, closed at the highs of the session. And I think that to me, there's no reason if we get above 1640 today why we can't make, we can't trade back up to all-time highs over the next few weeks. All right, next one I'll look at is SA Breweries. SA Breweries has, we've shown this level several times. So let me just get a little straighter. Okay, so this level, I probably need to draw it a touch higher, but you can see the significance of this level. A lot of touches up here around 634, 635. We broke out through here a few sessions ago. We actually traded back down below this, and we very quickly made a new reversal above here. What's bullish about this as well is we've obviously reversed back above here. Yesterday we took out new closing highs, recent closing highs, and I think, really with the exception of that huge update that we had last year in September, on the back of the buyout rumors, we only had 1 or 2 days where we actually traded higher. We've only had 3 days where we actually closed higher. So I think this is very important. To me, it looks like we're going to take a move back up to all-time highs here in breweries as well. I think we're set up. We had a lot of consolidation. We've been consolidating now for the better part of a year, probably 9 to 10 months, in this range between about 560 and 635. We've just popped out of the top of this. To me, yesterday was a confirmation of that, and I think that we can definitely see a move to this sort of proportion to the upside, which would take us up pretty much up to where we wicked up here, closer to $700. All right, and the last one we're going to look at is Bidvest, which made a beautiful breakout of a cup and handle here yesterday. You can see here we had so clearly topped out at the same sort of level. We kind of made a double top at one point, or it looked like we were potentially double topping. We kind of came in here and we consolidated. Anytime you start to consolidate just below the highs like that, it's usually very bullish. And so anyway, yesterday we had a huge breakout here. I'd also potentially be looking for a second day play out of this thing today, maybe for a move closer to 335, maybe a touch north of that. I really like this setup here. I think there's a lot of room for upside out of Bidvest. And that's it for today, guys. Good luck out there.